DAO Commissions, DisabilityArtsOnline.org.uk. The Sound of Disability, a video blog by Lloyd Coleman about my DAO commission with the British Paraorchestra, 1st of July 2014. Hello and welcome to this brand new video blog. I'm Lloyd Coleman and I'm a composer, conductor and clarinet player with the British Paraorchestra, and I've been commissioned to write a new piece for the Paraorchestra and symphony orchestra. So it's the first time that the British Paraorchestra has been put together with a major British symphony orchestra in its history. I can't tell you yet where this piece is going to be performed for the first time, or indeed who it's going to be performed with. That's top secret, but if you keep watching these video blogs then you will soon find out. Today I just want to give you a brief introduction to what the project's going to be about. Like I say, these video blogs will chart the progress of the project, and I'll be explaining some of the challenges I come across whilst writing the piece. And also I want to talk about issues that matter to musicians and disabled musicians and people who have disabilities more generally. My first plea to you, if you like, is if you have an issue, if you're watching this and you can think of something that would be relevant to these videos, so perhaps there's something related to accessibility to arts venues or funding for musicians or artists more generally with disabilities, then do get in touch and perhaps we can have an open and honest discussion about some of the issues we face day to day. Before I say any more, I'd just like to introduce you to Trish Wheatley, who will tell us a little bit about her thoughts on the project.
Here at DAO, we are massively excited about this project that you're doing with the Paraorchestra. It's our biggest commission to date, and it really shows a level of ambition about how we can support up-and-coming disabled artists, musicians, composers into developing their careers and working on a really ambitious scale.
Thank you very much to Trish, and I'm really excited about this project too because, like I mentioned earlier, it is the first time the Paraorchestra has been put together with a professional symphony orchestra. The Paraorchestra was set up by Charles Hazlewood in 2011. Charles is a conductor and broadcaster who I'm sure many of you have heard of, and he has a daughter. His youngest daughter has cerebral palsy, and this introduced Charles to the whole community of disabled people that, in fact, he hadn't really, by his own admission, taken any notice of before. And so Charles was thinking about this, and obviously he's a very well-known musician and conductor, and he was thinking about the number of professional musicians he had encountered during his career, and the answer to that was very, very few. In fact, he said that he had probably come across no more than 5 professional musicians across his whole career of conducting. That's about 20 years of travelling around the world, conducting the world's greatest orchestras. And he wanted to do something about this, and so he set up the British Paraorchestra to promote the cause of inclusion for these musicians. And we've had a very good time so far, actually. We've made our international debut, if you like, in 2012 at the closing ceremony of the Paralympic Games in London. We performed with Chris Martin and Coldplay, and that was an incredible way to introduce this project to the rest of the world, really, the 500 million or so viewers who were watching that particular ceremony. And then as a result of that, we had some more illustrious gigs as well. We actually performed at Buckingham Palace. We played the national anthem for the Queen's speech on Christmas Day in the same year. And we've had other gigs as well. We've done a performance at the Queen Elizabeth Hall. And of course, this project we're doing now with DisabilityArtsOnline is one of the next major projects we have on the horizon. And over these video blogs, I want to keep you updated with what I'll be getting up to during the writing of the piece. And it really poses a challenge for a composer, actually, a piece of this sort, because I don't think, to my knowledge, nobody has done something like this before. If you think of the huge range of musicians I have to incorporate into a coherent piece, we don't just have, the standard orchestral instruments like clarinets and violins and violas and cellos and pianos. We have many other instruments. We have musicians from different cultures, like Balu, who's from India, and he plays the sitar and tabla and all the traditional Indian folk instruments. How do I incorporate that into the piece without it seeming strange or out of place? There are other musicians too. There's a Lebanese oud player called Ziad, and there are musicians who make music through iPads and laptops. Again, how do I incorporate a sort of electronic sound world into a classical orchestral piece, essentially? That's going to be a real challenge, and so I'll be showing you, hopefully, and discussing how I'm dealing with those challenges as we go along. So, for today, really, this is just an introduction to the project, and you can join me every month from now on. We'll be releasing the video as close to the beginning of every month as possible, right here on the Disability Arts Online website. And you can track the progress. So bookmark this page or follow me on Twitter at Lloyd Coleman, and join us on this journey, exciting journey hopefully, as we head towards this historic and momentous event. Forgive me if you think I'm being a bit overblown about that, but I do think it's going to be a really exciting and really important moment in the history of the Power Orchestra, and perhaps in the history of disability art more generally. Thanks for listening, and see you soon. This video blog was filmed and presented by Lloyd Coleman, edited and creatively supported by Ivan Riches, and produced by Trish Wheatley. Thank you to the Power Orchestra and the Royal Academy of Music. The Sound of Disability is funded by the Arts Council of England. Copyright Disability Arts Online 2014. The British Paraorchestra. Dow Commissions. disabilityartsonline.org.uk